Hal has fallen multiple times and hit his head. One of the worst falls was in our backyard.
Apparently, I chose to walk out onto a deck, and I was found sometime later, had taken a fall from an 8-foot deck and hit my head.
I found him. I was completely terrified.
I was actually med-flighted out by helicopter to the hospital where I spent 4 or 5 days unconscious. I had a brain bleed.
He basically lost all memory from that entire month of the accident. From that point forward, vowed that I would never leave him alone when he was in a flare for fear of what could happen.
My father's battle with ABS has been frustrating and heartbreaking.
I have no idea why you recorded me.
I've watched my loving, caring father turn into a person who's become angry, aggressive, and appears to be someone who is drunk.
Watch what happens.
When my father is about to have an episode, he becomes very fidgety and very agitated easily. His eyes are glazed over. He's stumbling all over the place. At his most tame, he is just like a bad drunk that you might see in a bar.
Watch what I just said. See if you don't have.
At his worst, he looks like a demonically possessed person from a horror movie.
No, I've asked for help 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago.
A few weeks ago, my girlfriend and I moved home to help take care of my father, and we immediately noticed that there has been changes in his personality and in his day-to-day communication skills. He could be talking to walls, thinking people in the walls are talking to him. When he's having his hallucinations, he'll basically freak out thinking that someone's trying to get him.
You won't help me.
He's not usually physical towards me, but there have been times that he has pushed me in an attempt to escape the house. I do feel like my father is in denial. I don't think he truly understands how bad that he can be and the effects that it has on others. To this point, it's tough to see how bad my dad is suffering and to see someone so good go through something so bad.
Well, Tristan, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You actually have some martial arts training, so your ability to restrain him when necessary and to do so pretty safely is pretty well developed. So that comes in pretty handy, right?
Yes, I'm an MMA fighter, so I can safely use my skills to kind of protect him from himself and others.
Yeah.
And do it in a way that doesn't really harm him.
Yeah. And do you recall any of this after the fact?
I recall bits and pieces afterwards, but then eventually a film gets shown to me.
It's like you're watching somebody else when you're watching it, right?
It absolutely is. I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's just not me.
Before all of this started, were you a drinker at all? A casual drinker, social drinker, any kind of?
I would say social drinker to the point that if I was within a walking distance or something like that, but if I ever thought, well, we're going to be driving 10 miles and going to a restaurant or something like that, I was the one that was like, I'll be designated driver.
You're the designated
Like,
driver. Had you ever seen him drunk before this?
In our entire relationship, I think I've seen Hal drunk from drinking maybe twice. Hal wouldn't even have a drink in front of Tristan when he was little. Like if he was going to have a drink, he would wait until after Tristan went to bed, and because he's like, I don't want him to see me drinking alcohol.
Now, the times that you did see him where he was at all intoxicated, what was his demeanor?
Oh, happy, fun, relaxed, never aggressive whatsoever.
Everything you've said to describe him in terms of his personality and when he's outside of these flare-ups and historically is so counter to his demeanor and his personality when he's in these flare-ups. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.